Don't forget, we'll be on the radio at 2:30 Saturday as the Skyhawks take on Murray State at Murray. And Coach Jason Simpson here with us. Coach, before we look ahead of that matchup with Murray, let's look at the scores from the Ohio Valley Conference from this past week. And Jacksonville State with a 37-28 win at Tennessee Tech.
You know, they're starting to get it together a little bit. Matter of fact, they were down, I think, like 16 points in that game and got it back going late in the third quarter. So, you know, Tech's lost 4 in a row. Of course, Oregon take that out of the mix, but they've lost 3 conference games in a row, and they're 0-3. So, you know, they're off this week, so they'll be able to regroup, and we get them, you know, later on after our off week.
While our game was being played, Tennessee State was playing at home against Eastern Kentucky. We were closely watching that because we had not played Tennessee State yet. We lost to Eastern Kentucky. And Tigers come from behind on a quarterback sneak, I think, and win that one 23-20.
Matter of fact, I think there was like 8 seconds left in the game. It was probably the last play of the game. So, you know, TSU's obviously, solid team, 6-0. But like you and I talked about last week, you know, Eastern Kentucky losing the offensive lineman. You know, that's the different dynamics now, and you got to try to, adjust and reshuffle, and it's very difficult.
And then Murray State, in the game you've seen a lot, beats Austin Peay at Austin Peay 52-14.
Yeah, Austin Peay hung around for a little while. I think it was 31-14 at half. Murray scored late right there to take the lead at half, and then pulled away. Austin Peay obviously struggling, but Murray's very, very good on offense.
Let me read this, and you predicted this before the season started. OVC teams have put up a lot of points in the past 3 weekends. 9 teams have scored 40 or more points in those weeks. That included a 70-point outing by Murray State on September 29th. 65-point effort by Eastern Illinois on the 29th. In the 4 conference games on September 22nd, 8 teams combined to score 287 points and account for 3,641 yards of total offense. You said it was the year of the quarterback in the Ohio Valley Conference.
Right, and, we all as coaches could see that coming and what receivers were coming back and stuff. I was right, but I was wrong. I was right because other teams were doing that, but I was wrong because I thought we would be one of the teams that were doing that as well. Now, 51 points counts for the scoring offense, even though our offense, not score that many this week, but it all counts together. So, dynamics through injuries, things change, and you got to adjust. But we've still got several high-scoring teams left to play.
Yeah, we were predicting on Squawk Talk the number of points that would be scored in our game. And I said, guys, there would be a total of 80 to 100 points scored. And Randy and John laughed at me. But I knew we were capable of it. I knew what I knew about Eastern Illinois' defense, and you just had to expect a lot of points being scored.
Well, you did. Like I said, to hold them to under 40 now is
well below their average.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, that last one, it counts, but But anyway, that's they'll score a lot the rest of the year. They certainly will.
I was also looking at the FCS coaches poll, and you see at the top of the standings North Dakota State. And I kind of glance at the top 10: Montana State and Old Dominion, James Madison, Eastern Washington, Georgia Southern, Youngstown State. Do you pay any attention to that? And why are those schools? Why do they get so much recognition? How different are they from OVC schools?
Right. This time of year, I really don't study it a whole lot, but I can tell you this. I've been to several of those or studied them online and stuff. Some of it has to do with, pull up those facilities, those places. Pull up Montana's facilities, Youngstown State's facilities, North Dakota State's facilities. Facilities attract quality players. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when you're and you say, well, Montana. Well, but it's Montana. There's only 2 schools in that state, and then they go into California and get the rest of their players. So, there's 5 FCS schools in the state of Tennessee.
Right.
So dividing up players, is very difficult. And you got Youngstown there in Ohio to draw from. So, you can say those excuses or whatever you want, but get online and look at those facilities.
Is the OVC team starting to try to make a move to be more competitive when it comes to
You would hope, but money dictates all that.
Yeah.
And and that's why you see us playing two FBS games. That's why you see some of the other schools doing that as well, because we're all trying to improve ourselves financially. But you do that, and it takes a toll on you injury-wise, and then sometimes you don't have enough left to make a run at the OVC crown to get into those playoffs. So it's certainly a catch-22 of what's the right thing to do scheduling.
We are seeing, or I think I am, more Southeastern Conference transfers end up on OVC schools.
Right.
More so than it was when you first started?
It goes in waves.
Okay.
It goes in waves, and but obviously the kid at Tech, and then Montori, and then the running back at Jacksonville State, and everybody's got at least one guy that they can. The running back the other day from East Illinois was a transfer from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's got, at least one, and Murray's got one this week. They're running back from Ohio State. So
when I see that, my initial thought, and I think the average fan is, wow, they must be pretty good. They played for a Southeastern Conference school, but why did they transfer?
Right.
Those are the two things I think.
If they started there, yes, they're obviously going to be a very good player. If they didn't, then it doesn't always work out for them in OVC schools. And then there's obviously, you got to make the right decision for your program. If a player got dismissed, of if it's a good fit for you or not.
Right. Coach, let's talk about Murray. They are the opponent coming up Saturday. What do we know about the Racers?
Well, obviously, very potent on offense. Quarterback, everything quarterback, and very impressed with their wide receivers. And, they're going to score their 40. They're going to get their 40. You got to figure out a way to get some turnovers, create some short fields, and you got to be able to match them. Now, I say that. There's been a couple games this year. They were held in the 20s, and so that's what our defense is going to have to do. Their defense is better than they were last year. We beat them 5 of the past 6 years, mm-hmm. and the last time we were over there, they kicked us pretty good. That's the only time we ever lost to them, and that was Hatcher's first year. And they embarrassed us. So we've certainly got to keep that in mind. And then we got after them last year, and certainly they'll keep that in mind. So it's an important game for both teams to, get us at 3-1 in the conference, and just put another winning streak, keep it going.
The proximity of the two schools make it a rivalry. There was the situation where the coach before you went to Murray, but that's a distant past now. That's a long time ago.
It was forever ago.
It's forever ago. But I encourage the fans, with that being such a close game, to get up and support the Skyhawks in that one.
Well, we need you. We had a great crowd this week, and thank you for everybody who was coming. But I'm still not satisfied, because I know there's another 5,000 people in this town that we can get to fill that stadium up. So we need you guys. Come on.
Yeah, come on, Dash.
Give me some Skyhawk Dash.
That's right. Thanks, Coach Simpson.
Thanks, guys.
We got Murray State again on the schedule Saturday, and we will be there at 2:30 with the First State pregame with Tom Britt. Myself, Coach Simpson, will join us too. 3 o'clock kickoff from Murray, less than an hour away, and you can go out and make a difference for the University of Tennessee at Martin. Special thanks to Coach Jason Simpson, Frank and the gang, as always, here at Snappy Tomato Pizza, and Jumpin' Joe LaFaro, who had his segment on earlier. You can always go to utmsports.com on the World Wide Web for more information on what you need to know when it comes to UT Martin athletics. And let me look at the Cardinals are now beating the Washington Nationals 12-4. And taking care of that one. So that's an update on the baseball game. Robert Lehue back to Studio WCMT. Thanks, in the Big Orange Hotline with Bob Kessling and Coach Dooley coming up next. For Frank and the gang here at Snappy Tomato Pizza, I'm Chris Brinkley saying so long, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to Skyhawk Talk on the University of Tennessee at Martin Skyhawk Sports Network.